used to pray tahajjud in Jama'ah. He prayed tahajjud in Jama'ah. That's Taraweeh. Taraweeh is tahajjud in Jama'ah in Ramadan. We know this. Tahajjud is a sunnah prayer. It's a sunnah prayer. So, what do you think about praying the two sunnahs before Dhuhr? Or the two sunnahs Tahiyatul Masjid? What do you think about praying that in Jama'ah? Well, the Prophet ﷺ, he did tahajjud in Jama'ah, and it's sunnah. And this is the sunnah. See? I think you recognize that it is bid'ah, but it has a root in the religion, meaning that there were times when the Prophet ﷺ did do sunnah in Jama'ah. But the times that he did it, we are limited to those times. We're not allowed to take that practice and expand it and extend it to other areas. Right? So it becomes bid'ah because it is taken out of its context, even though it has a root in the religion. So sometimes bid'ah can come from here. This may, so can somebody give me an example of this kind of bid'ah currently in vogue, in practice? Okay, I'll give you one. Sadaqallahu al-Azim. Now, Sadaqallahu al-Azim is a beautiful thing. And if you recited Quran and at the end of it, occasionally you just made that praise of Allah and said Sadaqallahu al-Azim. No problem. But now when you make it something which you cannot recite the Quran without saying Sadaqallahu al-Azim, where the kids when they're learning Quran, if they forget it, the teacher hits them. Now you've made it a bid'ah. Something which was quite innocent, part of the deen, now becomes a bid'ah. Or for example, after salah, shaking the hands to your right, shaking the hands to your left. Now, shaking the hands is from Islam. Giving salam is from Islam. And if you made salah and the person next to you, somebody you haven't seen for a long time, okay, assalamu alaikum, you know, shake the hand. It's okay. But now, when you feel that religiously, after every salah, you must shake the one to the right. I mean, I've been in places where after the salah, I'm making dhikr, and the brother is standing next to me. You know, he's waiting for me to finish so he can shake my hand. I'm taking my time. He's tapping me on my leg, brother. Yeah. It has become religion for him. His salah is not complete without shaking the hand. That is bid'ah, dalala. It's misguidance. And there are a bunch of those around. I just gave you 2 examples. I think you got the idea now. If you start looking around, you can pick up a whole bunch of them. For example, with women also, is the idea that you cannot read the Quran without your head covered. Maybe in Malaysia it's not so much of a big thing, I don't know. Is it a big thing in Malaysia? Is it a requirement? I know in India and Pakistan it's like, oh, the idea of a woman reading Quran without her head covered, it's just not unthinkable. It's like heresy. This is bid'ah. Though for a woman to cover her head and read the Quran is perfectly okay. But then when it becomes a part of the religion, then it's not okay anymore. It's not okay anymore. You see? And you might think, well, it's not such a big thing. It's not such a big thing. But in time, these practices can become a big thing. They can create pressures on people which may lead them even to leave Islam. If you go to apostatesfromislam.com, www.apostatesfromislam.com. I don't say you have to go there, I'm just telling you. If you go there and you read the stories of the apostates, much of what they're talking about and complaining about is bid'ah. The bid'ah which existed in their area and other area, that they had to do this, they were made to do that, and it didn't make sense, and this and that. It's bid'ah. In their ignorance, not being able to distinguish between what was Islam and what was Mislam, they got lost. They lost their way. Shaitan succeeded using bid'ah. So, it is something that we have to be wary about. The Sahaba were extremely wary about it, because Prophet Muhammad ﷺ warned them when he said, "Man ahdatha fi amrina ma laysa minhu fahuwa rad." Whoever brings anything new in this religion which is not a part of it, it is rejected by Allah. Allah doesn't accept it. So they were very, very wary about doing anything. So much so that when Umar ibn al-Khattab went to Abu Bakr and said, a father being killed in the battles. The first year Abu Bakr was the Khalifa, there was battles taking place in Arabia. And the Huffaz were in the front lines of the battles. And they were being killed. So Umar ibn al-Khattab saw what would be at the end of it all. If these people are killed, then the Quran may be lost. So in order to preserve it, we better write it down now. Put it in one text. So he came to Abu Bakr and he said to him, we should do this. Abu Bakr said, no way. How can I do something which Rasulullah ﷺ didn't do? Wouldn't touch it. So Umar ibn al-Khattab had to work with him, had to talk it through, to convince him that yes, the Prophet ﷺ had us write it down. What was the purpose? What was the goal of the writing? It was to preserve it. Allah referred to it in Surah Al-Baqarah as ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ. He said, that is the book. He referred to it as a book. So we're not doing anything that is not... Okay, Abu Bakr was convinced. Then they went to Zayd ibn Thabit, writer of the Wahy. Was with the Prophet ﷺ when the Quran was recited twice in the last Ramadan of his life. Hafid. And they said the same thing to him. His first reaction, exactly the same as Abu Bakr's. And they had to sit with him until they could listen. This is showing us something which may seem so obvious. Yeah, why did you write it up? They were very wary. And this is what has preserved Islam till today. because a body of scholarship, of scholars amongst the Ummah, maintained the Sunnah of the Sahaba in wariness towards any innovation in the religion. So because of their wariness, we have the teachings of Islam still available to us in exactly the same way it came with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because you look at Christianity, what happened there? Bid'ah. Bid'ah, changing the religion till it became something else altogether unrecognizable. Unrecognizable. To the point where people, instead of worshipping the God of Jesus, they worship Jesus as God. That is 360 degrees misguidance. Lost through innovation. So, bid'ah is the third strategy. The fourth strategy is that of blocking people from obeying Allah. Blocking people from obeying Allah. This is a strategy used for those who would be ready to convert to Islam. They have gotten the information, they have all the knowledge they need, they know Islam is the truth, but Shaitan comes and blocks them. This is the Abu Talib trap. Abu Talib, did he doubt that Muhammad ﷺ was the messenger of Allah? He knew it. He saw all the signs. He raised him. He knew who he was. But the acceptance of Islam was blocked by family, connections to family, disgrace that was feared would come to the family. This is what his brothers were telling him. Are you going to give up the religion of our forefathers? You're going to disgrace our family? And what people are going to say. So many times I meet people who are on the verge of accepting Islam, and they would say, I don't know what my people are going to say if I tell them this. It's just too much. I don't know if I'm really ready for this. You know, the repercussions. This is blocking the way.